This is something I remember hearing years and years and years ago, but I bought into it. So it's mine. This person broke down life into decades. And let's say you live a good long life. The first 10 years are about memories. You're just a kid, you're making memories, playing around, goofing around, whatever. Your next 10 years, your teenage years, is about mischief. Okay, didn't we all get into a little mischief in our teenage years? All right. The third 20 years, which is your 20, or the third decade, which is your 20s, is about majors. You're figuring out what to focus on, what to major in and focus on in your career. Your next decade is about mastery. So you're hopefully by 40, you're mastering something and you're not still wondering what the heck you're supposed to be doing with your life. But by 50s and 60s, it's mentoring. We should be able to look back and say, you know what? I've got some tools in my toolbox now. I could pass these on.
What would be a tip that you would think would majorly make somebody have massive momentum?
Oh my gosh. You ask huge questions. This is not fair. Well, I do know what I would say to that first category, the person that's not a leader, but maybe aspires to be, or what would I do? Actually, I have a couple of thoughts on that. One, this is one when people ask me, what would I go back and do differently if I had it up? I would learn the art of self-leadership. I think before I ever earn the right to lead anybody else, I need to lead me well first. In fact, if I do that, I won't need a position, a title, or a badge. They'll want to follow me. They'll want to emulate the life I have. They so respect it, I won't need a title. So when I look at my 20s, I could go on, and I won't, but about the stories, these dumb things I did, we probably all did in our 20s, but I look back and think, if I had been better at self-leadership, I wouldn't have made those mistakes. And then the other thing I'd say on that category is, I really think the best leaders in tomorrow are really, really good followers now. So if you're on a team listening to this and you go, man, I'd love to be a leader, be a very good follower, meaning a teammate, a team player. If you do that well, you could be trusted to be in charge of that team. Now, Gary, your second question was, what if you're a leader that would just blow you out of the water in the future if you did it? Gosh, I wish I had a great answer on this one. I tend to, in my mind right now, go back to those three thoughts I just shared. Think big picture, think long-term, think high road. Here's why. When I think big picture, I'm not just thinking about my own life and benefits, how it affects me. I'm thinking much larger. That's usually going to scale the interest in others, in me, or my leadership, and give me greater influence. Think high road means I'm going to believe the best about others. I have a question about Bob or Susie over there, but I'm going to take the high road with them. This is something John Maxwell taught me early on from the very beginning. He would always take the high road. He would give more perks and benefits and severance checks and so forth. He would just always do that so that the residue was positive. I think leaders lose the right to be selfish. And so I just think this is how we got to be. We got to think high road and think long term. I learned a long time ago, the further out I can see into the future, the better the decision I make today.